So tell me, who's going to protect the Protector? Biomar!
Oh my god.
Guyver's so annoyed. The next step!
You don't know what you're doing, Crane. That unit's damaged. You have no idea what it'll do to you.
But it'll do you just fine.
So tell me, what do you know about the Guyver? The Guyver is one of my favorite animes of all time. Yes, the Guyver didn't originate as a film, as a live action film. The Guyver started as an anime in Japan. And this anime, it's called Bio Booster Armor Guyver. That is the full name of the anime. It's Bio Booster Armor Guyver, and it actually started as a manga. So the Bio Booster Armor Guyver is a manga produced by Viz Media. It was originally serialized in Tokuma Shoten's monthly Shonen Captain. The first appearance being in February 18 magazine, beginning in 1985. And it was adapted into a single OVA titled Guyver Out of Control. This was in 1986. This was loosely based on the first volume. A 12-episode anime OVA series was in 1989 to 1992 based on the first 4 volumes. And also you had 2 American live action movies. This was 1991's The Guyver and 1994's Guyver 2 Dark Hero, which is what you see here being previewed. And there was also a novel released in 1989 and 2 light novels in 1995. So the manga series is also still ongoing. It never finished. So it's just out in limbo right now. Yoshiki Takaya, who began the run in 1985, is still going to this day, albeit delayed by a potential or permanent hiatus. And unfortunately, 32 volumes of the Guyver have not been the manga, the full manga has not been released outside of Japan. But it hasn't kept the character from becoming an international anime icon. This is how it was with Dragon Ball Z. It took Dragon Ball Z a long time to come into its full fruition over here in America. It was like a hidden gem in Japan for a long time. And at that time, in the 80s and early 90s, you didn't have the internet. You didn't have YouTube and things like that just to go find stuff from other countries. You had to actually go to the country or have somebody send you that stuff from the country. I was an anime head from the beginning, so I had to, I first saw the Guyver in film, in the American film, the first film. And then I saw Dark Hero, and I had to go search for the anime to go find the manga with the Guyver. You have to go search for that. If you know how to read Japanese, okay, fine. Or if you know someone who's translated those for you, be thankful for that. So you can actually go see and go find out for yourself, go experience firsthand the awesomeness that is the Bio Booster Guyver. This is based off of around the character named Sho. This is a high school student. He's a reluctant hero. The story's kind of a bit changed just a bit in the first film, but it's the same, pretty much the same premise. The high school student stumbles upon an alien device that's called the Guyver. This is actually an alien weapon that empowers the user with great power. that's created by these beings who seeded humanity. These beings were the creators of humanity, and also they were the creators of these things called zoonoids. And the Kronos Corporation is the main villains in this anime or in this manga. The Kronos Corporation, they're a corporation based in Japan, but they're all around the world, led by these zoolords, which are more powerful beings like angels or angelic alien beings who are given those powers by the creators. And they basically run the world and are manipulating people behind the scenes, creating more alien hybrid zoonoids in these and they don't care about human life. And they're basically they are hunting those Guyver units that Show has because of their power. Because even those the creators are afraid of the Guyver and what it could do when it's combined with human beings. So Show ends up getting one, and it's 3 Guyver units that are scattered on Earth. The plot here in Wikipedia is a test type zoonoid escapes from the Kronos Corporation with 3 Guyver units. Kronos soldiers pursue the test type into some woods to recover the units from him. But when they corner the test type, he detonates a bomb that he had with him, and the Guyver units are scattered in the blast. One of the lost Guyver units, known as Unit 1, lands near 2 young high school students, Sho Fukumachi and Tetsuro Segwa. These are the 2 main hero characters in the anime and in the manga. And you don't really see Tetsuro in the film in the same capacity. The second one is retrieved by Kronos and merges with Oswald A. Lisker to become the second Guyver later on. The final unit falls into the hands of Agito Makishima, who merges with it at an unspecified time. Sho accidentally activates the unit, which then painfully merges with him. Sho's the one. Everyone else activated the unit on their own fruition. Sho activated it unknowingly. Over time, Sho learns more about the Guyver and its abilities. The Guyver is virtually invulnerable, with its only weak point being the control metal. With this part intact, it can rebuild the host from their data it stores within. But if this part is critically damaged, the host will be eaten alive by the unit and perish. This is disconcerting, and Sho starts to question whether he will ever be free from the Guyver. The situation gets worse with the fact that Kronos is continuously sending more and more powerful zoonoids to retrieve the Guyver. Sho continues to have to fight more and more powerful zoonoids. That's the cool thing about this. That's another cool aspect about the Guyver, that he fights many different powerful zoonoids. They have different powers, and they constantly step up their game. And the story progresses. It also takes a startling turn in which Kronos succeeds in taking over the world and reshaping it according to its ideals. The Guyvers are then labeled to the public as a vanguard of alien invaders. So the anime gets the manga gets very good, and it stops. It's still open-ended. The Guyver's still going on. But again, I mentioned the Zoolord characters. The Zoolords are some of the best parts of the Guyver. Like, of course, you have Guyver 1, which is Sho Fukumachi. Again, he's merged with the first Guyver unit. He has many powers. The Guyver, first of all, is skilled in all forms of combat, karate, all forms of combat. The Guyver has the control metal. Like I said, it's on his head. It basically makes him invulnerable to damage. I mean, not to damage, but it makes him invulnerable to dying because it saves his data, the user's data, in the control metal. So if you see Sho just lose his Sho had where like basically they ripped the control metal from his brain, and you know they basically ripped the control metal out of his head and took it with him, and his body just disintegrated. But the control metal rebuilt his body because that's it has stored his data in the control metal. The Guyver has those hypersonic blades on his elbows. He can shoot pulse cannons from his a pulse out of his hands, like Ryu does a Hadouken. He can do that. The control metals on his along his hips allows him to be able to hover. Like he can hover, not fly, but he can jump great distances and hover. Super strength. His biggest, main, and most powerful weapon is called the Mega Smasher. The Mega Smasher is in Sho's chest. You also have Agito Makishima, who's Guyver 3. He has the third Guyver unit. Agito Makishima is older than Sho, and he works in the company Kronos. He's been infiltrating them. Like his adopted father, is abusive or mean. His father was mean to him and, abusive emotionally and things like that, physically. He was in Kronos at first and ended up getting turned into a Zoonoid. Makishima saw this and he's been plotting for power. Like Makishima is one of those dark characters who, like Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z, he's one of those characters you just don't know about them. You don't know if they're a hero, you don't know if they're with you, but all in all, he ends up being a very big asset to Sho, but he also has his own agenda at the same time. You have a character called Aptum, who becomes he's a great enemy to Sho, but then becomes a great ally. Aptum is a battle creature that hunts down other Zoonoids created by Kronos. First, he was part of Kronos as part of the group called the Lost Numbers. But by absorbing small amounts of DNA from other Zoonoids, he can replicate their forms and their powers, as well as mix their attributes of several Zoonoids in one body. Aptum is like I said, a great character. First, he's an enemy of Sho, but he becomes a very big asset to him. He helps him a lot. You have the character who's with Makishima. He has a girlfriend. She's really just like she loves Makishima. Shizu is her name. She basically serves Makishima. Like, she's been serving the family for many years, tending to their properties, and she cared for Agito in his youth. Although she is by nature kind and gentle, she can also be extremely dangerous, acting in her interest, since her devotion to Makishima is total. She's totally devoted to Makishima. She's even turned herself into a Zoonoid to help Makishima and lead his army. So there's a lot of, I can go on and on. The movies don't even scratch the surface of the potential of the Guyver. It doesn't even it doesn't scratch the surface. But the live action movies are a great start. You at least have live action movies of the Guyver, and those movies aren't bad. You could go look at those. They're still, to me, they age well. The practical CG, the practical effects with the CG looks good to me. And I advise everyone who hasn't saw this anime to go check out the Guyver. If you haven't saw the film, go check out the Guyver. Look it up. Guyver, Dark Hero, both of those. Check those out, because those are American. You can catch those in America. Go look up the mangas. They have those online. Go look up the manga, and people have translated them for you so you can read them in English. Go look those up. The Bio Booster Armor Guyver. Do you understand? Like, you won't regret it. And also they have many OVA animes that you can check out as well. But thank me later. With that being said, this is the Cool Club. I am the Glitch Trap. Bong, bong, bong. I'm gone.